Hello and welcome to Rollout, a role-playing stream in which today we are playing Modiphius's Star Trek Adventures. I am here today with Kath.
Hello.
Izzy. Emily. And Mike.
Hello.
And usually in a game, we would be going over rolling to see who wants to prep us and sort out the previously on. However, our captain, Captain Nadari Athan, instead has for us the captain's log.
Yes, my dream has come true. Since I was a child. Anyway, Captain's log, Stardate 55525.62. The Iskandar has intercepted a distress signal from an uncharted star. While we have been unable to clear the contents of the automated message, we have confirmed this is an old transmission. Pre-Federation United Earth Starfleet in nature. We are 2 days out. Sensors have identified an unstable wormhole's mouth in proximity to the transmission source. Science Officer Ensign Casey has theorized this phenomenon may explain why we are the first to receive this message in 200 years.
Now, what I would like is for everybody to quickly go through who they are, and then we're going to enter a scene, starting, of course, with our captain.
Well, what do you want to know? I'm Captain Athan, a joined Trill, captain of the USS Iskandar Intrepid class, a veteran of the Dominion War, of the Federation Klingon conflict before the Dominion War, and before her assignment to the USS Iskandar, a senior aide to Starfleet Admiralty, and has not served on a starship since the Dominion War.
Thank you. What about Lieutenant Commander Tilandra?
Commander Tilandra is the first officer of the Iskander, serving under Captain Athan. She is Vulcan. Comes from a long line of Vulcans who have served in both the Science Academy and in Starfleet. So she doesn't have that Vulcan chip on her shoulder that some Vulcans have. She served in Starfleet for quite a few decades now. Has been offered command in the past, but turned it down. Is quite comfortably fitting into that position that many Vulcans do, where they'd rather not be captain of a starship, but being the executive officer suits her just fine. And she fills in some potential gaps in Athan's leadership style.
And then we have Lieutenant Commander Gwen Anderson.
Yep, Lieutenant Commander Anderson is the chief engineer on board the Iskander. She's a human from Luna, specifically Tycho City. Always kind of raised and involved in base maintenance and power systems, crawling around Jeffrey's tube since she could hold a toolkit kind of thing. And this is almost her dream job. It would be nice if it was a Galaxy class or something, a bit fancier, but she's chief engineer of her own ship. Living the dream.
Okay, what about Ensign Samuel Casey?
Ensign Casey is a fresh out of Starfleet ensign. He
Commander.
Captain.
He was born and raised on an isolated planet, Castor 4, where his parents' continual discovery of scientific advancements in that planet for Starfleet-sanctioned reasons led him down the path of science and Starfleet. He graduated and got directly involved in the Dominion War, and we've been on the ship for a year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is his second major posting.
Okay. Well, as the captain's log demonstrated, I should have perhaps done that after the intro to everybody. We are coming. The ship, the Iskander, is coming across an M-class planet in a few hours, and that is due to a distress call that was sent out. However, we're still 2 hours out, so our first scene is going to be in the mess hall. And I'm wondering who is there now.
I have my own room. Thank you, brother.
Oh, of course. Oh, yes. There is a specific private dining area for the captain, of course.
Oh, yes, of course, it's Intrepid class, so I've kept the private dining room, which gets turned into the kitchen on Voyager. Sorry.
Talandra will almost certainly be going through the mess hall, doing her rounds of people on and off duty.
Okay.
Casey will also be in the mess hall, pad in lap, flicking through a few variables and statistics about the theory that he's developed.
Yeah, let's have Anderson there as well.
Okay. Are Casey and Anderson talking about what's coming up, or...?
Likely.
Yeah, likely.
He's likely got to this point where he's gotten excited about the discovery, and so he's just recounting information from the pad in an overly keen way. So it is my theory that because of the proximity of the black hole to the distress call, it might be something possibly anti-gravitational that is causing the delay. Some of the scanning readings have been showing signs of this, but it hasn't been confirmed. That we're going to be able to get a clearer picture of it when we're closer to the...
Yeah, how far away is it from the event horizon? So you might be getting something from the gravitational field of the black hole that might be distorting the signal a bit.
Yes. No, you're quite right. It's at this range, it's impossible to tell. Once we're closer, then maybe it's going to be clear. But
hopefully it's not too close to the hole.
Well, a safe distance.
Yeah, I'm not putting this gander anywhere near the fucking black hole.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
I'm sure she will be, because she won't be going anywhere near that black hole. Not putting my baby in danger like that.
Well, danger does come with our mission. Without jeopardy, there can't be discovery.
It's true, but you got to look after that ship.
Yes.
Talandra's gonna walk into the mess hall and go get a drink, clocking the two staff heads.
Seeing Talandra come in, he immediately shifts from being quite keen to kind of shutting down to something more stoic, which isn't unusual when Talandra is in presence, but it's a very sudden shift. So that is the theory that we're working on. And again, it's only going to be confirmed when we are closer.
You'll need to get closer and then actually get it properly with the sensors, but you'll be able to do that in a couple of hours.
I'm hoping so. Commander.
Ensign.
Commander?
Coffee, decaffeinated, soy milk. What are you two talking about?
I was running through some of the basics of the discovery, or at least the theories thereof. When we're closer, we'll be able to properly ascertain as to if it is the black hole which is causing the delaying of the message, but nothing yet.
Have you run any of your working theories past the captain, Ensign?
I have not.
Very well.
Do you think I should?
Could I take a look at your workings?
Hands pad over.
Gonna chime in over the comms. All hands, this is the captain. We are approaching our destination. Crew, report to your stations. Senior staff to the bridge.
Acknowledged.
Aye, Captain.
Acknowledged.
The crew emerge from the turbo lift onto the bridge. I'm assuming taking your stations, and you are less than half an hour from the distress call source itself. You can now start to do things like scan ahead of you and so forth. You're within range for various things.
Ensign Casey, get us a better read on what we're going into, if you will.
Aye, Captain. I will do just that.
Okay. Casey, what I'm going to want from you is the target of your scan, as well as a roll. First roll of the game. How this works is I'm going to want 2 d20s rolled from you. I'm going to want to know... Well, first of all, what are you scanning?
The order was to scan the black hole, correct?
Well, I said what's ahead, it's wormhole.
My apologies. I will be scanning with a rough trajectory towards where the wormhole is.
Okay. Give me a reason and sciences roll. You may also, because you're scanning with the ship sensors, you're able to roll an extra d20 to assist you using the sensors and sciences from the ship. Now, in order to succeed, you need to roll below what your reason plus sciences are, and for the ship to assist you, it needs to get below sensors and sciences.
And that is below on each dice, rather than in total.
Correct.
Yes. For each one you get a success.
The ship actually did not help me, but my reason plus my science is 15, and I rolled a 5 and an 11.
Nice. Okay. So, scanning ahead, I will send you information. So what I'm doing for everybody at home is I have a document open in which I am sending information to the players, and I can tell you, the players have also got 1 momentum from getting 2 successes. This momentum can be used in other future things, or alternatively can be used straight away as they're scanning to reveal additional information if they would like.
Captain, my reading suggests that the wormhole is unstable at its terminus. There's anomalous fluctuating gravity readings coming from it.
That's nothing too surprising if it's been disrupting automated distress signal. Helm, let's take us in nice and slow. I want to come in right at the edge of the star's gravitational pull, and we'll see if we can start to clean up any signals from there.
Mike, would you like to spend any momentum to get additional readings, or would you like to save that?
As we are getting closer, yes, I'll spend that additional momentum to see if the sensor can offer something else.
Also, if we can see communications, if you can see if we're picking up anything different from the automated distress as we're getting closer, especially if the wormhole's fluctuating.
Who is communications?
XO, who is communications?
Communications captain would be Ensign Juarez.
Ensign Juarez.
Ensign Juarez. I see. Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
No,
God.
Juarez.
My list is extensive, Captain.
You've got the list.
Ensign Juarez informs you that no change has been detected from the distress call. However, the distress call seems to be coming from the planet's surface rather than from the wormhole.
Captain, according to my readings, there's an object at the center of the wormhole.
At the centre of the wormhole.
Looking at this, it
When you're saying
might
that
it may be a vessel of some kind.
but not the origin of the communication. If this is an unstable mouth of a wormhole, then could you make any estimations on how unstable, how long has it been here, how long is it likely to remain here? I don't know if we have enough data on that, but see what you can pull up.
I can try, Captain.
Commander Anderson, we're not sure what we're going to be dealing with, so I trust you to your discretion to make sure that the Iskandar isn't going to end up in any trouble from unexpected gravitational pulls or any other possible wormhole phenomena once we come out of warp.
Right. Well, nothing on the sensors so far, but we're keeping an eye on it.
I trust your judgment.
Captain, the fluctuation of these gravity readings is not allowing me to date or age this wormhole in any variety.
That's quite all right. We'll find out when we get there. Can we pull any more data from the planet yet? Sensors able to reach that far yet?
Give me a reason and sciences. Casey. Again, assisted by the ship.
That is 3 successes.
Shall I just put them all into momentum?
Yes, please.
Is that 2 into momentum or 3?
That's 2 into momentum.
According to these readings, Captain, there seems to be a debris field of Romulan origin.
Romulan?
It's a crash site. Possibly an old Earth shuttle pod crashed there.
So we're possibly looking at some consequence of the Earth-Romulan war, but carry on.
The shuttle pod is intact. I'm reading low power fluctuations coming from it and transmitting an automated distress beacon, likely what we're reading. From everything we can tell about this planet, there are no indigenous intelligent life forms, but there is a life sign of a human near the crash site.
Helm, how far out are we?
Am I helm? Just to clarify.
Yes.
Okay. You're 10 minutes from any from transporter range.
All right.
Captain, if you have any intention of going planet-side, may I suggest caution? There seems to be a recent tectonic plate shifts, earthquakes and tsunamis occurring across the planet. Ongoing volcanic activity has affected the landscape, the climate. The world is much cooler than it should be.
Well, we'll be cautious, but if there's a life sign down there, then that's someone who's stranded and is going to be in need of rescue. So I think, whilst I'd much like to take a look at the wormhole in any of the wrecked ship there, I think we're going to have to see about doing a search and rescue as priority, especially if the planet is that dangerous.
I'm not able to get a solid scan on the humanoid. But given there's something odd about their life sign, I wouldn't recommend transporting them up.
Very well, then. Then that's sounding like...
Quarantine?
Quarantine. Also possibly some investigation ourselves. I think that's going to be an away mission whilst the Iskandar runs some more scans, especially on the debris and especially on the wormhole.
Hi, Captain.
Exo, the away mission is going to be your purview, isn't it?
Quite so, Captain.
As you say.
Is there a problem, Captain?
No, just if this is some sort of wreckage from that era, I would have quite liked to have taken a look, but as ever,
I'm sure, Captain, you do not require a first officer to remind you of Starfleet regulations regarding away missions.
That I don't, Exo, quite right. By all means, pick your away team.
Very well. She'll begin putting together her team.
Mm-hmm.
On touchscreen, because everything is touchscreen.
I'm assuming are Ensign Samuel Casey and Lieutenant Commander Gwen Anderson on the away mission?
Casey is a definite, because interesting scientific situations, but Anderson will be, consulted.
Okay.
Commander, this Romulan technology could be of significant interest to your department. However, I do not wish to rob you of the ability to scan this wormhole.
I mean, scanning the wormhole's more for the science department. I'm more interested in making sure that the ship doesn't fall into it or fall apart near it.
A worthy goal, Commander.
Although,
I'm sure.
I was going to say, Casey, have you been picking up anything from the debris? I mean, how are you on Romulan technology, Anderson?
I mean, it's not exactly a specialised subject of mine, but ships are ships. For the most part, there's a lot of things that are the same. And if this is all Romulan technology, it's going to be for cloaking devices and things like that, so it shouldn't be too difficult to Work outfits fit.
I'm taking a closer scan at the Romulan technology now, Captain.
Ref, how far away from the neutral zone are we?
You are in fact nowhere near either Federation or Romulan space.
If it fell out of that wormhole, then.
Sorry, Commander?
I was just mumbling out loud, really, but we're nowhere near either Federation space or Romulan space, and yet we've got ourselves both a wormhole and a Romulan ship and a human. Casey, did you say human or humanoid?
1 second. I'm going to need to go down there in order to get a full reading of the Romulan debris.
Sure. But yeah, so we've got a life sign down there.
Yes. There is a life sign.
And a Romulan ship nowhere near anywhere that it could have been.
Not to mention the age of this transmission.
My suggestion, Captain, is to take down a science and medical detail for the potentially stranded individual, and a tactical squad in case this Romulan becomes hostile.
There's no necessarily signs of any Romulans, but take down security with you. We don't want to take any chances, especially as there could be anything interfering with our readings with the wormhole. I'll continue research from up here. As I say, if you need Commander Anderson, by all means, I'm sure her team can make sure the Iskandar stays in one piece.
Oh, yeah, I trust my lot down decks.
Aye, Captain.
Okay, so...
In which case, Ensign, Commander, with me.
Yes, Commander.
Want it?
So, Kath, did you put together an NPC to go along with this? A red shirt?
That would have been smart.
I have a random name table.
Get your mother's maiden name.
No,
and your PIN number.
I was going to say, let's not use security questions on this.
But there's security.
No, I didn't.
If you just want to do it really, really quickly, just take your stats and take them all down by 1.
Okay.
Okay. Then... okay, so...
In fact, hang on, can I quickly see whether or not our diligent XO has named any security officers?
Yes, absolutely, that's fine.
Head of Tactical probably won't be coming with us on this, will they?
Well, that's up to you.
Traditionally, I probably would send Head of Tactical, but then that makes Head of Tactical sort of my secondary character, which really is up to you guys.
I think based on the situation, since we're taking down a small squad, it's probably best just that they fall under Talandra's purview. Mm-hmm. In which case, top of my list of tactical NPCs is... will you be quiet? I had a long train journey today. Is Ensign Davran, who is a Bolian.
Oh, okay, Ensign Davran.
Okay. So you head to the transporter room and start to beam down. You get on the shuttle pad. And
hang on, what gender is Davran?
Davran is female.
Okay. Sorry, carry on.
You find yourself, after teleporting, in what looks like it was once some sort of what seems like a once forested area. You can see a few very short trees and so forth, but most of the rest of what's around you is quite a jagged landscape where slabs of rock jut upwards and limbless trees stand at unnatural angles, hanging on even as the land has shifted beneath them. It's obvious there's been some kind of damage or explosion or something that has happened here. Fallen trees litter the uneven ground and twisted, blue-barked seedlings sprout up from the carcasses. Several volcanoes smoke in the distance, filling the sky with ash, and the sun is a cold yellow disk in the ash clouds. A few small furry animals, each with one singular red eye, scurry about, while brightly coloured beetle-like creatures the size of a human hand dart from rock crevices, their 5-pronged pincers snapping at each other. As you materialise, you see that around you there appears to be what used to be a Romulan ship. You can tell from the colourings, the fact that it's mostly green, and you can see part of it has the emblem of a giant bird of prey on it. And not much remains of it beyond huge chunks of charred hull, covered in blankets of a strange blue-tinged moss, which looks like one of the few plant species that's thriving here. You also see, not 50 metres away, a pre-Federation shuttle pod. It's bulbous, not view screen, bulbous windscreen at the front, denoting its era. Its roof and its sides are now thick with this bluish moss, except around a door on the side, which seems like it's been cleared in patches.
Curious.
Very.
Ensign, scan
Yes.
for dates.
Yes, Captain. Commander. I do that.
Reason and science, or reason and engineering.
Science, please. No. No, I do not.
This is how you get me killed.
No successes. Okay, so knowing that you've got no successes, I can tell you now that one thing you could do is use your determination. Everybody has one determination, and they can use that to...
If you've got a relevant value to what you're trying to do.
Oh, yes, sorry. Do you have a relevant value that means a lot to you, to the task or situation?
Of knowing what time things happen.
Yes. One of my values is that I have a theory for every situation, which has not only been seeded in the opening brief of this,
That's true.
but will be valuable for this moment. So I will spend that determination and actually succeed for once.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
How many successes?
That is automatically 2 successes.
Oh, wonderful. Because you
That's
needed...
how using determination works.
You
For a
needed
perfect
2
opportunity.
successes. So I'll tell you the things.
He's just doing broad sweep tricorder scans of the area. And not going too close to the shuttle because, this isn't my first rodeo. Commander, it looks like the ship was heavily damaged in battle. Everything that I'm seeing suggests that there was evidence of radiation consistent with the atomic weaponry and phase-modulated energy cannons of the Earth-Romulan War. Kind of spins, scans another area. From everything that I see, there seems to be some power left in the ship and the shuttle, despite it being this old.
Commander, what is the feasibility of a ship this old still maintaining power after all these years?
Oh, with the kind of systems that those things used to have, kind of engines, power supplies. So what kind of role is this to work out?
To work out what
Because otherwise
exactly?
to work out how feasible it is that the ship would actually still have any kind of power after about 200 years sitting on a planet.
That would be... Jesus, where's my book? Can you give me a suggestion for what you think it might be?
Let's see. Engineering definitely is the discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I think reason.
Reasoning would...
Engineering?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, reason engineering, I think is what it is. And this would probably come under power systems, so I can use a relevant focus.
So, just so you all know, if you have a focus in the specific thing that you're doing, every success counts twice.
I'm just thinking, do I want any bonus dice for this? But goal is 13. How do task? Yeah, let's just roll 2. They are both less than the relevant discipline, so that is 4 successes.
4 successes. Oh, Jesus. Would you like some momentum, or would you like to use it in some way?
Not sure. Hang on. Let me just try and find the bits of information that I'm getting from whether it's likely or not. I can't think of any extra questions I'd ask them other than, is it plausible?
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to save up that momentum. What was the difficulty of that one? Was it 1 or 2 or?
It was 2 for quite old historical knowledge of these kinds of systems.
Cool. So that's 2 successes more then.
You have your information.
It doesn't really seem that plausible, if I'm honest. It's only supposed to last about 10 years at the most in case of emergency if it did crash land in a state like this, but not 2 centuries.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
This doesn't even look like it's been here that long. I mean, yeah, it's covered in moss and stuff, but you'd expect, oxygen atmosphere, fair bit of warmth, probably quite a lot of salt if there's been a lot of earthquakes and things like that, acid rain and the like. You'd expect it to be a bit more, well, of a rust bucket.
And have any scans picked up this life form?
I can scan for the life form now.
That would be reason and sciences.
2 successes.
Do
Do natural ones do anything?
Natural ones are automatic 2 success.
3 successes.
Natural 20s make everything worse.
tricorder reading? Tricorder readings show that the human life sign is not that far beyond the shuttle pod. It's maybe another 100 meters over what seems like a bluff.
My readings are suggesting the human life forms just beyond that bluff.
What's the rough distance for that? Right.
It's about 150 meters away from you. The shuttle pod's about 50 meters. That's another 100.
Okay. Talandra to the bridge.
This is the captain. Go ahead, Exo.
Captain, we have made contact with the Romulan vessel. It is damaged. It has sustained heavy fire from what Ensign Casey believes is the Earth-Romulan War. There is also an Earth shuttle of a similar era. Commander Anderson believes that the shuttle is still powered, even though it has no reason to be so.
After
There is
200 years.
There is a life sign some 150 meters away.
Alright, if that's our target for search and rescue, then I'd proceed to the target. Is there anything to be gained from bringing up... Do we even have capacity to bring up the wreckage for further analysis?
We wouldn't
It
be able
is
to entered into the bridge. I don't know how we'd be able to get all of the wreckage, but we can probably get a wee bit of it up into the decks. However, it's covered in a lot of plant life that seems to be indigenous to the planet. I wouldn't recommend just casually beaming it on board.
What about the power core?
Covered in blue moss. Power core? You might have to cut it out.
Well, consider that a step B. I
Consider
suggest
that later.
Yes, it's not the highest priority, but all right. Noted, Exo. You can proceed. I think we need to find our descendant survivor.
Acknowledged.
Okay. What are people doing?
What Talandra is going to do is she is going to take some of the tactical squad and the medical contingent
Okay.
to locate the life sign,
Mm-hmm.
leaving the rest of the tactical squad, science and engineering, to check the technological area here, since we shouldn't be going too far away from each other.
Okay.
Commander Anderson, remain in contact throughout.
Aye, Commander.
Talandra continues forward. What do Anderson and Casey do?
Like Anderson's definitely going to be going for further examination of the ship.
The
Romulan ship.
Well-
Both the Romulan ship and the Earth Federation ship.
Okay.
No, it's the Earth Federation ship that's still got the power supply, isn't it?
Technically it's pre-Federation, but yes.
Yeah, pre-Federation ship. So I think that one's actually more interesting. On the basis of, how is it still running?
Okay. So if you want to go towards that said ship, you can certainly do that.
Yep.
Shut up.
Kath, up to you,
Yes.
but you might want to just mute yourself during
Sorry.
times when you're not talking. No, it's absolutely fine. I can see how annoyed you're getting rather than anything else. And yeah, so alongside Talandra, who's moving forward, Lieutenant Commander Anderson heads towards the shuttle. Getting to the shuttle before Talandra gets to the bluff, you start to have a poke around. This moss that's on it seems to be growing up the sides, and you can see that while a lot of it seems to almost have been cleared away, it's already encroaching on the edge of the inside of the shuttle. You can see a number of the systems are still on. Not the engines. The engines look like they're... well, I mean, you can see from the outside the engines look like they're filled with moss. It would probably be a very bad idea to try and start up this shuttle. But you can see a number of the lights inside the monitors have displays on them. You see the name of the ship on one of the monitors. On the side is covered up with this blue moss, but on the inside you see the name Starship Atlantis. And you notice you can see Starship Atlantis and the emblem of an NX class vessel.
Does the specific name Atlantis mean anything?
Would that be... It's not reason.
Hang on.
Would your character know much about specific registrations and information of old Starfleet vessels, especially that old, like 200 and something years old?
Only if they were particularly famous with for an exploration type thing, because Anderson's quite into the history of space exploration. But if it's just a random spacecraft, then probably wouldn't know it unless it's got a particularly well-known bit of history to it.
Give me a d20 roll, and on 11 or more, I'm going to give you a bit of information.
That's 5.
No, you've kind of heard of a Starship Atlantis, but not really more than that.
Maybe I'm mixing it up with Space Shuttle Atlantis.
Maybe.
There's a lot of things called Atlantis, shockingly.
But yeah, there's the monitors inside, as well as all the controls. Seems to still have some amount of power in here.
Casey will join Anderson, looking hesitant at first. What have you found?
I mean, the engines are borked, they're full of this moss, but for the most part, looks like it's not in that bad working order, considering the fact that it's A, crashed, and B, 2 centuries old.
We should really be careful. This might be someone's living habitat, and if that's the case, then we don't know what we might find.
Aye, no, that's a fair point. I wouldn't be too happy if somebody was peeking in my windows. What's the deal with this moss then? Is it, safe to the touch or what?
Oh,
I'll
well,
give it a look over.
yeah, give me a reason and sciences check.
2 successes.
Okay, so you can tell that the moss is, it's very strong in its ability to spread very quickly. You don't even need the tricorder to scan like a small amount of it. You can see it very slowly creeping, a millimeter every half minute or so, and it seems to be just part of the natural habitat here. But you would imagine that in another few years, this entire area would probably be covered with it, unless it destroyed the environment by just being too much of it, getting rid of all the nutrients in the area.
This moss is incredibly virile. Look at the way it's growing.
Bloody hell.
So maybe don't touch it.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
Talandra, you start to approach the bluff.
I shall make sure I'm joining her as Ensign
Yeah.
Davran.
I
in
would
case
have
need to
taken
die.
Devran with me to split the players.
Sure.
into-
Is there anything you discuss with each other before you get there?
I'll take point commander, make sure that the way ahead's clear.
As you wish, Lieutenant. We have no reason to believe that this individual will not be hostile.
That was my thinking, ma'am.
And so you move forward, you keeping an eye out. The tricorder scans are slightly unsure as to the location of the person. You can tell that they're within maybe 20, 30 meters of you, but with you're getting you get the feeling that you get the feeling based on your scans that the wormhole in orbit is interfering with your ability to directly work out where things are. And as you approach this bluff, you hear someone shout out, "Get away from me! Ah!" And someone pops up from behind a boulder, and in their hands is what looks like some sort of wooden device. It's long with a string along it, and they loose it off at Devran.
The red shirt doesn't last long.
This is the worst red shirt death.
Guys not even know what a bow and arrow is.
The
We're not.
the arrow clatters at your feet, and you hear him continue, "Get away! Romulans!"
I'm blue! And I'm pointing my phaser. Actually, probably just a pistol. Probably not a rifle.
No, they're obviously the Romulans. He picks up from his side another arrow and goes to knock it. You can see his movements are somewhat unsteady.
How far away is this person?
He's maybe 30 meters away from you. If you wanted, you could probably charge up to him or something like that.
I mean, he's a primitive fighting with a stick and string. I'm not 100% what Starfleet protocol is on this.
Okay, to describe this man,
Yeah,
He-
more confused.
yeah,
Talandra does look like mildly confused. Like,
I'm vaguely insulted. for
Davran's
being-
offended.
for being Romulan.
Yeah.
he looks as though he has like his top half has nothing on it. The bottom half appears to be an old style Earth Starfleet onesie, which has been taken down and tied around his middle. The legs appear to be mostly ripped, and he scrabbles for another arrow as you watch.
Talandra is going to move up to disarm the individual.
Okay.
Gonna move to flank.
Okay.
Talandra does not believe that phase of fire is worthwhile in this situation, and will be using just hand to hand.
Okay. And obviously non-lethal.
Yeah, just take it out of his hand and attempt to subdue him.
Okay, so this is going to be a daring and security task with a difficulty of 1.
Oh, it's not prepared for daring security. Right, I've been making notes throughout, so you'll have to tell me how to roll.
So give me 2d20, and for each one, each individual one, you have to get lower or equal to your daring and security put together.
You can add more before the roll.
How?
You can either spend momentum, one for the first. You can buy up to 3d20 for this, and same for any roll. You can either spend momentum, add to the threat pool, which is like the momentum pool, but for NPCs that want to attack us, or you can use determination if it's relevant.
Very well. What was the difficulty, did you say?
1.
Okay. I'm not going to for now, but I will bear it in mind. Do remind me when I have to roll, because I always forget my options.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're all getting used to this system. There's quite a lot here to get used to, but it looks like once you get it all, you can flow it quite quickly.
It's like nothing I've
Yeah.
played before, so it doesn't flow naturally in my
Yeah.
head.
You're not
I'm
the only one.
Natural 20s are bad.
Natural 20s are bad, and getting a 1 is great.
It feels so unnatural.
Hey, see what you did there.
I indeed got 1 success.
Okay, that means
And
that...
only in that moment did I realise exactly how low my daring security is, so that was risky.
Okay.
Not a
Because he's only
tactical
happened on a
officer.
20.
Then, so what you would do then is roll the challenge dice equal to the amount of damage you'll do, and I'm going to look up what that is, because
How did focuses come into play? Sorry, I'm being thick.
So while I was just looking stuff up,
Thank
focuses come into play when you're doing a task that's relevant to one of your focuses. So in my case, say I was doing anything with power systems, warp engines, any of the other ones that I've got on my sheet. You can apply the focus to that task, and if you roll anything that is less than the discipline used in the task, then it counts as 2 successes as opposed to just 1.
In which case, I also got 2 successes. Because I have a focus in a hand-to-hand, and I rolled a 5.
Okay, so you can either add it to the momentum pool, which is currently 3, or you can use it...
But is your security 5?
No. Oh, discipline's the bottom number, not the top number.
Yep.
Oh, in which case, no, just 1 success.
Okay.
My security is not 5. Spoilers.
I was shocked, I tell you.
Okay, so you, I believe, roll 1 challenge dice for this, which is a d6. And I want you to tell me the result you get.
I got 4.
Okay, so a challenge dice determines what happens and how many sort of I'm sorry. This is all new to me. This is quite strange.
It's all right. We'll have a good talky campfire bit later to make up for it.
Thank you.
I will start a campfire on the ship.
I'll break out the music.
Okay, so no, that's starship weapons. You're not shooting them with a starship weapon. There we go.
That would be overkill.
So
Just to be fair.
the third type of dice are challenge dice. They are 6-sided dice used primarily for inflicting damage, and each has, like, if you had the special dice that Mediphius sends people, then they would have 4 different sides. You have a result of 1, 2, 0, 0, then 1 plus effect, and 1 plus effect. So On page number 74 of the rulebook, if you have it there. If you don't, that's absolutely fine.
I have it open.
You've rolled a 4, which translates in this to unfortunately a 0. Now, I don't know if you add anything to that or.
I think so.
Okay.
No.
Basically,
It's just
yeah, you tussle with this person. Do you want to describe your tussle that has no conceivable effect?
she's basically going for a straightforward deflect and disarm. Like she's not going for a complicated move. He doesn't seem very I'm going to say well versed in Starfleet martial arts. She's also likely a lot stronger than him.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, to be honest, she knows that once she's within close range, he can't shoot her anymore, since this weapon seems to be momentum-based rather than energy-based.
Okay, so
perhaps if there's no effect, she is overconfident.
fair enough. Okay, so yeah, you start the tussle, and he appears to be fighting in a way that you would describe as crude compared to more modern Starfleet training protocols. What does the Bolian do?
Well, now my team leader has charged into melee, so I'm not shooting into melee. That's just bad training. So I am going to approach and basically see if I can assist, but I don't want to get in the Vulcan's way. Maybe just hammer him in the back a bit.
Okay.
Do that weird two-handed punch thing.
Yeah.
Just that as
Starfleet, the advanced modern Starfleet training.
Okay, so it turns out that if you're in melee combat, you can in fact attempt a grapple. So what I'm going to want from Talandra is a fitness and security test, and you can be assisted by what's the Bolian's name?
Ensign Devran.
Devran.
Devran, who I actually started up
Devran.
using the actual things now.
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, you give me a fitness and security roll. It's difficulty 2, and of course Devran rolls 1 dice to try and assist them.
Sorry, fitness and security.
Yes.
2 successes.
1 success.
So because you're assisting, you don't get any additional momentum, but you manage to hold this person in place. No, both of you, Romulans, you must be get away from me!
I'm still blue, you mad bastard.
Talandra probably.
I don't know what you are.
That she might appear a little Romulan to someone who doesn't know the difference. She thinks they look very different.
Devran does not know about Earth history sufficiently to know.
Did you say it was a man? I can't remember.
It is indeed a man, a human man.
Sir, I am Lieutenant Commander Talandra, the USS Iskander. I must ask you to be calm.
I don't care what you are. Get away. You're just no.
Permission to stun, Commander?
Oz, my old pal.
Yes.
My old GM friend. I would like to do something that I've wanted to do since I was a little girl.
Yes, do the thing.
Nerve pinch.
Okay. Why don't you
Once
tell me?
I've done this, I can quit the game.
I've done the log, she's done the pinch.
Why don't you tell me how this goes? Because this is your.
Since he's flailing, and Talandra isn't actively fighting him, and the Devran's kind of, moving and trying to sort of stop him flailing and punching someone in the face. I imagine he turns to try and lash out at Devran, turning his neck, at which point Talandra just probably mid his "No, you can't stop me" permission to
I'm gonna just say that happens because I'm not gonna look up all these rules as we're currently doing it. So yeah, you
Rules are for tools.
with both of you together, you manage to
Rules are indeed for tools, hence why
put down this poor man. He appears to be wearing, as I said, he's wearing that what's it called? Not the onesie,
The jumpsuit.
Jumpsuit. Thank you. With red edging.
At which point, once he is just sort of sunk, in classic ragdoll strings cut style, Talandra steps over him and turns to the medical officer. What are they called? Doctors.
Could be a medic. That works.
Doctor, is he of sound body?
I've been being pinched into unconsciousness.
Once she's asked that, she will wait for the scan to happen. At which point she will continue talking in a continuous sentence to Devran. Ensign, keep eyes out. The ravings of this madman may yet prove to be factual.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what a Romulan looks like, but I'll establish a perimeter, man. Unless it's just me. But
No, I split the tactical team, so you've got 2 or 3, I think, with you, just to eyes out, basically.
yeah,
We
will fan out.
The doctor kneels down next to this human and starts scanning him. They just shake their head. I'm afraid I can't tell what's going on. There's something wrong with his mind, some sort of effect. It may have something to do with what he's been eating or breathing. It could be anything around here. I can't tell.
Do you think it is a possibility that whatever has affected him is infectious to the rest of us?
Wouldn't be able to tell you, Commander.
In which case, Doctor, I believe your role in this mission is over. Being back to the Iskander with the individual.
They call the ship and ask them to lock onto them. They ask they say, beam up, and then they disappear in the swirling yellow lights of the transporter.
Talandra to the bridge.
Captain Athan here. Go ahead, Exo.
Captain, we have, for want of a better word, apprehended the individual in question.
So, when you say apprehended on a search and rescue mission, Commander, they didn't want to be rescued?
They had all the actions and mannerisms of someone quite maddened by their experience on this planet. The doctor was unable to ascertain the cause of this madness. The individual attacked us with a bow and arrow.
That might be a survival necessity. We'll keep them quarantined and see what we can ascertain from up here.
They have beamed back to sickbay.
Excellent. I'll see to it myself then,
Captain,
Commander.
although
Yes,
it may be the ravings of a lunatic, they expressed sincere concerns about the Romulans.
Oh, with the Romulan debris. All right. Noted. What's your plan from here, Exo?
To continue searching the area until Ensign Casey and Commander Anderson have finished their... I've forgotten the word.
Analysis?
Analysis, Captain.
Very good. Keep me posted, and I'll let you know if we learn anything from up here, Exo. Iskandar out.
And then Talandra will join tactical, just scanning, looking. Oz, we can't hear you.
I can't hear you, Oz.
Anderson and Casey, you are at the entrance to the shuttle, and what would you like to do?
First and foremost, I would like to take a sample of the moss in a container to take back to the ship.
Sure.
Casey will be in mid-rant about comparing it to something that was seen on the Ferengi homeworld not so long ago, and look at the door and kind of shoulders slump. We could possibly benefit from checking out the interior.
That we could. That we could. Probably a good idea to see if anybody's in here first, though, before we just barge in.
Well, there was only one life sign on the planet, and that was the individual on the other side of the bluff. So it's.
No, that's a fair point.
You certainly didn't scan anyone in here when you outed your tricorder earlier.
That
And the actual door is open.
Oh, is the door actually open?
Yes.
We
I
also
thought it was
could
just
benefit
like-
from possibly scanning the wreckage instead of stepping inside.
I mean, we could do that as well. Yeah, let's give it a scan first.
Okay.
And then step in.
Give me a reason and sciences scan.
2 successes.
Okay.
Which one are
Also-
you scanning? Are you scanning the shuttle or the actual, like, the wreckage? Romulan
I'm
wreckage?
doing wreckage now.
Okay.
Okay. Give me a second.
I mean, you understand I'm perfectly happy to step inside the shuttle. We just need to make sure that all of our bases are covered.
No, it's a fair point.
I'd be more than happy to step into the shuttle.
So you just watch me. I'll step into that shuttle. I'll do it.
People are always talking about how much I want to step in shuttles.
Mysterious, dark, abandoned shuttles.
It's a well-known fact about Ensign Casey. He just can't wait to step into shuttles. You have to drag him out the shuttle bay all the time.
Casey, you wear blue, not red.
No, I was just going to say, Ensign Casey, we're like, Ensign Casey, but you are science. And he just kind of peels back his sweater and underneath it's red. And we're like,
And then he dies.
yeah.
I'm a brave
It's red
people.
with blood.
Are you spending momentum on this? You got one. You got 2 successes. So do you want to spend that one you got on on more information?
Okay, go ahead, yeah. That is odd. I was right
What
to
you
do
get?
this. This is a... Correct me if I'm wrong. There's no doubt that's wreckage from a 22nd century Romulan ship.
Certainly looks like it.
According to the tricorder, the deterioration of the metal dates this as just 6 years old.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
You were wondering about that.
Yes. Come on. Planet with volcanoes. Been here for 2 centuries. Oxygen atmosphere. If it's just been crashed, it should be an absolute rust bucket.
Agreed. We can't jump to any conclusions.
No, we can't jump to any conclusions. However, there is a great big wormhole up there.
That,
It's certainly a starting point for a theory.
yes, but nothing we can act on. I suppose we
Yet.
have to go into the ship now.
I think we do. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Oh, no, I'll go first.
You sure?
Yes. Yes.
Very well,
Aye.
then.
I step
After
into
you,
the ship.
Ensign.
As Casey steps into the ship, nothing happens. It's absolutely fine. the music swells up and then just cuts. Inside, as I described before, there are a number of consoles that appear to be on, all of which are just in an idle mode. You can see the normal interfaces for this kind of ship. The engineering section, you can see, has a number of red blinking lights on it, probably something to do with all the moss growing through the system, but aside from that, what would you like to do?
I'm going to go to the consoles and do a systems review to see how trashed things are, what
Okay.
exactly is trashed other than the engines. Just a general kind of diagnostics on the state of the ship.
Reason plus engineering, I think.
Is computers are valid?
Yes, absolutely.
thing here. Happy days. Right, reason plus engineering is 13, so that is 1 success.
Look at this moss continuing to grow throughout the ship.
What's it feeding off of if it's growing that quick? It's got to be feeding off of something that gives it.
A great
energy
question.
to do it.
We can take the sample that we've got and put it into isolation, try and determine
Yeah.
whether or not it's something atmospheric that it's feeding on. Oh, that would be very
Sure.
interesting if it's entirely based on atmospheric consumption. Something airborne, perhaps.
Volcano ash, maybe?
Possibly a volcano ash. That would be worth taking a sample of too. I should go get some. I'll get some in a
go get-
second.
Yeah, get a soil sample.
Are you sure? Are you going to be okay on your own?
I mean, you don't have to do it right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine. There's
No.
nobody else
No, of
in
course.
here right now. Personal logs of Lieutenant John Kearney. Let's play the most recent of these.
Personal log, Lieutenant John Kearney, supplemental. There was an accident. Crane cut his arm while hunting the single-eyed rodent-like animals we've been subsisting on. The moss must have got in the wound. It ate him from the inside out, like a flesh-eating bacterial disease. This will be my last entry. No one is coming. I'm alone here now. And it cuts off.
Poor man.
There are 4 other logs, if you would like. However, that may tell you enough.
I think that's certainly enough for a starting point.
We
And
can.
assume that the one person we've got left is Kearney. Ensign, when you
Yes.
picked up that moss, you didn't have any minor cuts on your hand, did you?
No, Commander.
Good. You don't have to get the hologram to cut a load of moss out of you.
I'm still going to submit myself to a medical, just in case.
Yes, no, absolutely a good idea, but there's no immediate you're being eaten by moss kind of concern right now.
You can download the rest of the logs to your tricorder if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm going to go and get that sample of the ash now.
I'll holler if I need you.
Okay. He goes to retrieve a sample of ash and just other botanical samples to take back.
Okay, Kathy, if you would like to check your messages.
Oh, sorry.
I imagine that's the face we want.
All right.
It's
Iskandar to awaiting.
Receiving.
Talandra here, go ahead.
The wormhole's expanding. We're being starting to be drawn out of orbit. I'm going to have to
No,
bring you all
Kath,
back.
Kath, if the ship is being drawn out of orbit, it's going to be quite bumpy. You're going to have to recreate this.
The ship is being drawn out of orbit.
You're a fool. You're playing along to his strings.
This is Star Trek. There are rules,
The
Mike.
Star Trek shuffle needs to be done, Mike.
Yeah, later on, if we're all on the bridge, we'll all have to go left.
The ship is being drawn out of orbit. I'm gonna have to have you all beam back up.
Understood.
Understood.
If there's anything
Understood.
important, secure it about your person and make sure you're somewhere where it's not going to interfere with the transport lock. I don't want to risk losing you down there.
The tactical squad will roll back in towards the shuttle, just to ensure that we're all close together.
Okay. You come together, and with a brief call to the transporter chief, you are beamed back to the ship. As you dematerialize, we are going to go to a break, and everybody here will be right back in 10 minutes. See you soon. We're back. And we've returned to the bridge as everybody steps out of the terminal lift to great distortion and turbulence.
Right, you can debrief me later, Rex. So, Ensign, take your posts. With Helm, can you get us out of this gravitational pull?
I can't, Captain. The pull is far too strong.
Engineering.
See what I can get out of the engines.
Exactly. Science, any ideas?
Give me a science and reason.
Oz,
Yes.
as the I can't remember what the word is. As the Helm Exo,
Yes.
is there anything I can do to assist in Helm to try and figure out what we can do?
Yes. Give me a check of some kind. If you can think of a thing before I get there, let me know.
Insight, con.
Insight is people.
Damn.
Reason
Reason
can
con.
be doing things off of instinct as well.
Reason con is fine. My reason's better.
Reason and con makes sense. Give me a roll for that. What did Casey get?
I got 1 success. However, one of my focuses is astrophysics.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Do you
Is that
want?
roll you got less than your discipline that you used for the roll?
Yeah. To gain the benefit of the focus, the roll that you get needs to be less than your discipline, or equal to or less than the discipline.
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Okay. I'm going to give you a few things now that you are beginning to detect.
Kind of starts frantically moving through the screens.
Did you get anything?
Yes, 3 successes. Because you get double successes for under on a focus, yeah?
Yep.
In which case, 3
Or you just
successes.
get double success on a 1, just naturally.
I did not get a 1.
It's only if it's equal to or under your discipline that you get
Yeah,
2
I got
on
a
focus.
I got a 3,
Cool.
and my focus is 5.
Okay.
I mean, my discipline is 5.
Give me a sec.
In the meantime, more turbulence.
Am I good to
Well,
act on what
Anderson's
I've
running
got?
down corridors
Yeah,
trying to
you're,
get to engineering.
you're good to do your thing.
Captain, I'm detecting another ship on these sensors. Something at the center of the wormhole.
Is this the same ship we detected earlier?
Likely. The readings are really strange. The object appears to be there and not there at the same time. It's in constant flux. I don't recognize the design at all. It's organic. It's bulbous. It's at the epicenter of the strange gravity readings. It may well indeed be the source. The gravity at the center of the wormhole is causing the entire system to experience the effect of time dilation.
Open a channel.
The closer to the phenomenon, the faster the dilation.
We're not getting any response, Captain.
Captain, the ensign is quite correct. I have calculated that there is nothing that the Iskander can do to escape from this gravitational pull.
Captain,
To
if
do
these
so
are
would
left
simply
unchecked-
rip our ship in half.
If these go unchecked, they are going to encompass countless worlds and nearby star systems. Captain, I'm getting another ship on the sensors. NX class vessel, registration Starship Atlantis.
Ref, at this point, would I know anything about the Starship Atlantis with my interests?
Yeah, sure. If you think your character would know, I'm certainly happy to tell you. I'll type it into the thing.
So yeah.
Captain, that's the same registration as a ship we found on the planet.
As the shuttle pod you found on the planet.
Yes, Captain.
Exactly so.
See the depths of my reaction in a second.
It will range from to
Either the Atlantis should be fine, or the Atlantis went missing.
Or what's an Atlantis?
Stupid human words.
Yeah, we're just like, yeah,
Iskander
that's...
and Atlantis at the same time.
Yeah. We didn't even know.
The Bob.
Yeah, one day.
The Atlantis. She was lost. Can we hail the Atlantis?
No response, Captain.
That might possibly be for the best. All right, is there anything we can do to disrupt this wormhole? If it's expanding, this is going to have untold damages.
Yes, Captain. Running a few scans now, Captain.
Other than that helm, what about using... No, there's nothing to slingshot around. It's a gravitational pull.
Captain, I assure you I have run every number conceivable to calculate our escape velocity. It is not possible.
Engineering to helm. How impossible is impossible here? Like, are we talking, 9.9 as our warp, or are we talking 10?
That depends, Commander Anderson. Do you wish to be the chief engineer of two halves of one ship?
No, I have absolutely no desire to be the chief engineer of two halves of one ship, but I also have no desire to be chief engineer of a ship that falls into a bloody wormhole.
For the moment, we're going to trust... I don't want us to pull the ship apart trying to get out of here, so I want impulse engines trying to slow our escape, but let's not tear the hull into pieces.
I'll see what I can do without causing structural damage, Captain.
Aye, Captain.
Fresh scanning data coming in, Captain. There's no doubt about it. The gravity effect is coming from the strange ship in the center of the wormhole. But everything I'm reading is off the charts. There's nothing coherent. Nothing makes sense.
They're not receiving hails. They're responsible for the growth of this, and this is going to have enormous disruptions.
Forgive me, Captain. It's the ship in the center of the wormhole that is causing.
Yes, this biological ship.
We might need to probe it. We might need to...
Can we dispatch a probe, anything to get more readings?
You certainly can.
Also scan it for life forms. Is anyone even aboard? Is this a crewed vessel?
Scanning for life forms, Captain. No signs of life, Captain.
Oz, is it possible to try and fly in a sort of drain pattern, since we're going to be pulled in to try and give us as much time as possible before we are drawn into the immediate... To try and kind of ease into it. I will let you know shortly. Captain, I believe if I were to take command of the helm and steer towards the ship in an orbital pattern, provided the gravitational pull does not get stronger, it can give us enough time to scan this thing.
Circle the whirlpool. Get it done.
But as with every whirlpool, Captain, it will be drawing us closer to the gravitational well.
That's fine. I've got a few ideas of last resort.
How much do you want impulse going for as long a time as possible before we get into this?
Maneuvering thrusters is priority.
Captain, well, there's nice signs of life coming from the alien ship. I took the liberty to scan the Atlantis. There's 30 life forms aboard.
30 life forms, if they're still not raising helm, if they're still not responding to calls. Are they even moving? Are they maneuvering in any way? Or are they just dead in the water?
Not moving in the slightest.
Well then, I'd love to help them out, but right now...
Emergency medical hologram to the bridge. Get me out of here! There's Romulans everywhere! We're having some problems down here. You beamed somebody up here. I'd love to know who this person is. There must be Romulans!
Sedate him if you have to, EMH. This is not our priority.
Of course, Captain, I would prefer warning next time. Don't put that thing near me! Ah!
Personal logs that we recovered might be able to help us identify a alternative signal that they would be using for communications in an era. If we have the time to run that, then we might be able to hail the Atlantis.
All right, then. You have more than enough to be looking through. Someone look through the logs. Helm, you're now not doing anything. You look through the logs.
Ensign, transfer the logs to my console.
Okay.
Yes, Commander.
Actually, I meant the poor Helm NPC who you've taken his job, but yeah.
I can do both. I am Vulcan.
Like, immediately, the moment Talandra puts out the command, he's doing it. He's sending those logs to her.
Cool.
Plus, she's just programming in the path. I think Helm can
That's true.
do the...
You don't want a Riker joystick.
You get...
tall
I mean,
enough.
who doesn't want a Riker joystick?
do you want the log... Do you want the logs in text or audio form?
Text, please.
Okay.
She'll be running them on the console while she's doing other things.
Do you want me to copy-paste them, or do you want me to read them to you?
Copy-paste or I can send them, it's fine. Then I shall read them with eyebrow. I will do a face journey. Can you not raise your eyebrow? That is why you'll never be a Vulcan.
I can only do, like, both. I can't do one at a time.
Imagine being a Vulcan who wasn't able to do that. Oh my god.
Be like a Brit who didn't understand sarcasm. Just sad.
It just doesn't work. They'd just be an outcast for life.
Yeah.
There you go.
Trying to do one. Nope.
Right.
Aren't we glad we made him play science officer? And I mean, aren't we glad we've got someone who's science?
I was nearly
Having
security.
I know, right?
Like, I could punch this problem.
Sort of love how I may have like ordered the person who can talk to the Atlantis sedated, but he's also crazy.
Bugger.
Assuming open comms are a thing, you probably do hear Anderson just kind of cursing as she's doing scans down in engineering. Engineering to bridge.
Go ahead.
We are losing power at quite a rate at the minute around this bloody wormhole.
All right. Is there any manoeuvring from this from this vessel at the epicenter? It is completely stable, completely doing nothing. Right. Okay, communicating with the Atlantis is great. Fire a warning shot across the unknown vessel's bows. I want to get a reaction out of these bastards.
Who does that?
Who does that?
Tactical.
Because I want to give you a role, you're welcome to do that yourself, Kath.
Yes, Kath, fire the gun.
I have Starship Tactics as well as a focus. I know.
But the lieutenant in question will be doing it.
Oh, damn it.
Lieutenant,
Not giving the captain the guns.
I got a 9 and a 14. So using my stats? Or what?
What, if we go with the tactical officer has stats that are one below each of yours.
Okay. So, sorry, what am I? I'm using security and...
Oh god, now I'm going to have to look up Starship Combat. You are using...
To be fair, I don't think I've passed unless it's control.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you're aiming to miss.
Oh, okay. No, if that's okay, then you fire, what are you firing? Are you firing Fred and torpedoes or the
No.
phasers?
One single torpedo across the bow. Let's get their attention.
Okay, it flies past and explodes behind them.
Anything, any change, Casey?
Not that I can read.
EXO, any update on communicating with the Atlantis?
Captain, it appears that this log from Lieutenant Kearney indicates that the Atlantis simply disappeared from orbit above the planet's surface. Lieutenant Kearney theorized that the ship had been destroyed by a Romulan bird of prey.
Okay, well that's clearly not the case, but it's going to be destroyed by this. Okay. Any information from our probe? Not now, Zeph.
Oz, is there a date on this log?
Yes, it is. Oh, give me a second.
2157? 56?
Yes, 2157.
Is that date relevant?
That is halfway through the Earth-Romulan War before the Federation existed.
I will point this out to the captain.
Space-time dilation. Understood, EXO. If nothing else, then it might be a good idea that we keep our guest in sickbay sedated under the circumstances.
Aye, Captain.
Sorry, what was the question you were asking?
Did our probe being launched into the one... Has it picked up anything else?
Yes. Can Casey give me a check?
Usual.
Reason and sciences. It's lowered the difficulty, however.
1 failure, 1 natural 20.
It's made of jam.
As you punch in the information into the...
Yeah, you better run, Casey.
As you punch the information into the console explodes in a shower of sparks as the ship buffets to the side from a gravity distortion.
Reels back. Is that stress damage? Or
that will make anything using this science station have 1 extra difficulty from now on.
Snap.
And you are thrown to the floor.
Yeah,
Star Trek
obviously.
style.
Reels back.
Sparks. The probe didn't seem to pick up anything relevant, and anything it did pick up in the short term has been lost in the shower.
Ensign, report.
Captain, the console's burst. There doesn't seem to be anything, but it's getting harder and harder to read.
I actually meant yourself, Ensign, but thank you.
Oh, fine. Thank you, Captain. Fine.
All right. Tactical. Do a scan. Can we pick up on engines, weapons, anything, any weak spots on that ship?
That would be Casey again. It's going to be a higher difficulty. Give difficulty 2.
You can use momentum to buy more dice.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You have 2 currently.
I'm going to go ahead and use one of those momentum.
Really?
And
I count that we have 4.
It goes down
Yeah.
with every scene.
Oh shit! Use it or lose it,
Yeah,
right?
you didn't tell us.
It goes down by 1 every scene. So.
Still only 1 success.
Okay. It does seem to, despite words.
Is that with the ship's assistance?
No.
What's
Gonna
the
roll
ship
one.
rolling on this?
Should I add another D20 for the ship?
I would,
Yep.
using the ship's sensors.
Come on, baby, help us. Okay, baby, you failed us.
No. No, in this scene I fail.
You got one.
I'm fine, Captain. I'm fine. It's like big shot of glass out of his eye.
You're not in the red shirt. It's fine.
All shirts are ready if you bleed them enough. No, Captain, I can't get anything out of this monitor.
Understood. Then we're going to have to get this nice and close. Helm, you're going to have to bring us in as near as you can without you estimating us getting caught in any kind of blast. If we're going to have targeting being difficult, we're just going to have to use our eyeballs as much as we can.
Aye, Captain. Lieutenant, with me.
Okay.
Flandra and the helm will try and plot a course that
Close
will
to
take
this
us in.
creature. Yeah, close to this creature? No, ship.
Space whale.
Meh.
Which I am about to destroy.
No space whale.
Call me Ishmael.
Okay.
Hell's
The ship
toughest.
goes a lot closer. The shuddering in the ship gets significantly more. The Gwen, you know that the ship won't be able to take more than maybe 5 minutes of this before you'll get microfractures along the hull, that kind of thing.
I report this to the bridge. Captain, you can't keep this close to this wormhole for more than about 5 minutes before you are getting microfractures in the hull. The material is not going to take this.
Noted, engineering. Hopefully this is going to end up one way or another. Right.
Casey,
Tact-
reason and
Well, I'd
sciences.
rather it went one way and not the other.
2 successes.
Okay.
And a Skype message. I've got nothing, Captain, but my dad's fine. He wants me to have a good day tomorrow.
I know I asked you how you were, Ensign, but, like, boundaries.
I've just not felt great recently. I've felt with a sense of ennui.
This is oddly stressful.
It's really trying to hone down on some scans now, Captain.
What was the exact question? What will tactical be able to do?
Oh, I want tactical to shoot it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just want
That's
to...
why we're getting. That's why we're getting closer. I mean,
Okay.
unless we can pick up any more sensors with our science console
Okay.
being damaged, a lot of our scientific options are getting kaflumped.
Okay,
And,
then
yeah.
I want tactical to shoot it. Give me a roll.
Come on, you stupid thing. And he's
I'm going to
pounding
spend
at it.
the last momentum.
Sure.
Yeah. Nope, that's not the way you go.
And throw it to the floor.
Is this again my same stats? Then that's 2 successes.
Awesome. You gain 1 momentum from that, and
Can I spend that for a result within the roll, or is it only information you can use that for? 'Cause I'd like to spend it to not die.
Where's
I
the
like
crib
this.
sheets? Things you can spend momentum on. You can get it. Hang on though. Create advantages spending 2 momentum, which we don't have. So you can either spend it now to obtain information, given that it's just the one, or you can keep it for future.
Let's all spend it for
which-
information. Starfleet probably shouldn't learn things by shooting them.
Yeah, no, I would keep that and then use it for bonus dice on future rolls while we're dealing with the wormhole problem.
I have become way more gung-ho than I was expecting.
Oh, were you not expecting this?
Kath,
I don't know
there's-
why I kind of just assumed.
I just assumed as well. It's the way all captains end
Oh
up.
shit.
You were given a Vulcan XO for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Does the captain say that? Or does the tactical officer say
To
that?
say that probably.
what does the tactical officer say?
Oh shit.
Well, some of this will also be potentially sciences results, but
I've got some results. Don't worry, you do you.
yeah, it'll be
Now they're me.
Captain, the blast has made only a minuscule reduction in the gravitational output, and our sensors are picking up the object. We're not recognizing the material the object's made out of. It's not even on the periodic table.
That makes sense. The photon torpedoes wouldn't do it because they are tactical and matter and antimatter weapons. Even the ship's entire complement of torpedoes wouldn't be enough to destroy this object, given if that's having no effect.
Cut to the end, Casey. What do we use?
The fusion triggered detonation of the starship's matter antimatter engines.
Power?
Engineering to bridge? No.
That's
Feck
called
off, Ensign.
that's called we blow up the ship, Ensign.
You are not
starship.
blowing up a starship. I mean, there's the Atlantis over there, but you'd have to drag it over too.
there are still, 33 life signs on board the Atlantis.
But this is having widespread effects all over the star system.
Engineering to bridge, have you been able to make any contact whatsoever with the Atlantis? Never mind the bioship for a sec. Because we could tractor beam it over.
That's true. If we can get on board, beam people off. Yes. Let's, at the very least, if their shields aren't up, we can just abduct them off the ship. Better that than
Yeah, just
killing them.
abduct the bastards off the ship, move their
Right.
ship over to
Commander,
that,
can
and
you get
then
us
blow the fucker up.
Commander, can you get us closer to the Atlantis?
Moving in. Ensign, we have
Commander.
been able to hail the Starship Atlantis. Is there any possibility that the Starship Atlantis is attempting to hail us? They're an old vessel. Maybe they're working on outdated Starfleet frequencies.
I had a similar theory. I will try. I am looking to detect any hailing frequencies or known or unusual frequency.
If we come across in front of the bridge, I'm honestly thinking of just pinging some damn lights at them.
Captain, there's no other hailing frequencies. And given the distortions and fluctuations of the gravity pool, that will interfere with any transporting efforts. I wouldn't recommend it without some sort of... something beyond what we know.
Not even getting up close, not even...
I'm open to ideas.
Captain, we're not going to be able to bring in the Iskander close enough to the Atlantis without risking the Iskander, and I'm not willing to let you do that.
There's no point in both ships dying today, Commander.
Exactly.
Exo, thoughts?
The XO would like to mute her mic. It seems, Captain, that whatever it is that is holding the USS Atlantis at the middle of that wormhole is not destroying the USS Atlantis.
Yeah, what's the status of the Atlantis? Actually, also, what is the Atlantis' location relevant to the unknown ship? In relation to the unknown
you'll
ship?
have seen it on the view screen. It's actually it's a lot closer to the event horizon of the wormhole. It appears to be in quite a stable orbit. Maybe they manoeuvred in a similar way to you did at the start, or.
But like physically, are they getting screwed up? Are they getting?
Is it worth therefore assuming that if we maintain this orbit, that we are going to be in the same position as them and not be harmed?
That would be a smart assumption.
Okay.
Therefore, Captain, it appears to me that provided we maintain the orbit that we have entered into, we will not be harmed.
Well,
however, the USS Atlantis is a very old vessel. We do not know how long it has been here for. But we can theorize.
All right, establish
From
orbit.
engineering here, whilst we may be able to not take any physical damage, I think we've got about 24 hours before the power systems are borked completely, and we don't have any spare power other than the very basics we'd need for life support, and even those will probably go eventually.
That's still 24 hours. Establish an orbit. What's my next thought? Establish an orbit, and my mind will immediately go blank.
If we're able to establish an orbit, if we're able to establish an orbit, are we able to get some kind of slingshot maneuver?
Maybe, yes. Slingshot maneuver was a theory. Establish an orbit, and also, Casey, how far is the gravitational distortion going, and what are the possible consequences? Like, how urgent are we talking about?
It's going right through the system. Last chance I looked at it. As for the consequences, given how far it's permeating, given how far it's... He starts padding out the console. It's impossible to say. All of these readings are being warped by the very same time dilation.
Captain, I think that we may be able to get some more power out of these engines to get us a little bit further away from the ship, but not no further than... We won't be able to reach the event horizon.
That's fine. You can get us closer to the Atlantis for now. All right,
Gwen, can you take off 3 power for the helmsman using some of your excess power to get closer to the Atlantis?
Yep.
Captain,
There's 3 power left.
Exo.
I consider it further my duty to remind you that while we are in a tenuous position regarding our ship's structural abilities to navigate this wormhole, that any engagement we undertake with this ship could potentially risk the temporal prime directive.
Understood, Exo. I think we might need to attempt to have a conversation with our guest. We can just limit what we say and conversations about the date, and maybe I get changed. I'm going to go down and have a conversation. You have the bridge, Exo.
Aye, Captain. In the chair.
Take the chair. I'm going to go down to medbay. I'm probably going to pocket my comm badge.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, so you head into the medical bay
It's
and...
still on me. I just don't want to wear the Starfleet crest in front of the time traveller.
That's fine. You head into this medical bay. The... where is it? This one. In there, the...
Oh, on the way,
Yes.
I want to get the damn logs piped through to me, and I need to read them, because I need to know what this Kearney has
How
been
about...
through.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to read them.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Personal log, Lieutenant John Kearney, Starship Atlantis, supplemental. The Romulan bird of prey crashed before her crew could enable a self-destruct mechanism. A cheer went up among the crew in the torpedo bay as huge sections of the enemy vessel burned up in the atmosphere. I don't blame the crew for cheering death. We spent weeks playing a deadly game of cat and mouse through a nearby asteroid field until we finally got the jump on them in this uncharted star system. Scans of the planet revealed that whole segments of the hull went down intact and was strewn across a debris field over 100 kilometers long. Captain Suarez sent us to the planet's surface to salvage the wreckage for technology that might help the war effort. Personal log, Lieutenant John Kearney, supplemental. After a thorough investigation of the Romulan vessel, we found no salvageable technology. As we returned to our shuttle, the ground began to quake, and one of the distant volcanoes, which we had earlier thought dormant, erupted. Its ash quickly blocked out the sun. We found our shuttle on its side, thrusters damaged. We retreated inside to transmit our report to the Atlantis crew and request immediate assistance, but received no answer. We have spent the night holed up here, battered by violent weather, eruptions, and more quakes. None of us have slept, though at least the night righted the shuttle. From what we can surmise, the Atlantis has disappeared. If she had to break orbit, the captain would have found a way to let us know. Has she been destroyed by another Romulan bird of prey in a surprise attack, stranding us here? Ensign Bowman thinks he can repair the shuttle's thrusters, and that we should return to orbit in hopes of finding answers. Personal log, Lieutenant John Kearney, supplemental. Ensign Bowman is dead. He worked through the night on the thrusters. We found him outside and in the grey morning, covered in a strange blue moss, which seems to be eating him alive. There was nothing we could do to save him. The shuttle pod can't leave the planet's surface even if we could repair the thrusters. The moss has infiltrated the engine exhaust ports and drained the power system. It must feed on energy. We're putting the shuttle in low power mode and setting an emergency distress beacon in hopes of rescue. Using gloves from our EVA suits, Ensign Crane and I will be taking shifts clearing the moss from the door. The ground continues to quake daily. Personal log, Lieutenant John Kearney, supplemental. 2 weeks and the moss regrows every day, almost as fast as it can be cleared. Even rationing our supplies are nearly gone. We'll hold out as long as we can. The weather grows cold. Except for the moss, it seems like all other plant life is dying. Once we run out of rations, we'll have to look for other sources of food. Personal log, Lieutenant John Kearney, supplemental. There was an accident. Crane cut his arm while hunting single-eyed rodent-like animals we've been subsisting on. The moss must have gone inside the wound. It ate him from the inside out, like a flesh-eating bacterial disease. This will be my last entry. No one is coming. I'm alone here now. End log.
Let's get down to medical.
You head on down. As you listen to this log, you get into medical as you see the emergency medical hologram trying to restrain a flailing man, great big bushy beard, and what looks like quite an obvious sort of tan over most of him. He is shouting about Romulans and how they'll never take him alive.
Sorry. Can we raise some force fields to isolate this sick bed?
The hologram says, I've already raised him, Captain. He shouldn't be able to get out. However, it's going to be a lot easier if he remained still. No, you can't! No, there's...
Lieutenant Kearney.
Yes!
Of the Atlantis.
What do you know? What have you been told?
I know that we've recovered you. We found your shuttle. We found you. You are safe.
What? No, I've been there. What? It's taken 6 years. How did you find me?
You need to tell me what happened before the end of your fight with the Romulans. Focus. Stop. Sit down.
Can I have from you a... is it insight and leadership? Would that make sense?
Insight and command.
Presence, maybe?
Presence and
Depends what you're trying
command.
to do.
Nice. Can I count? Oh, I'll see if I get anything good enough. So that's 17. Wow, 1 success.
No, well, wouldn't you know? You're the Romulan.
I'm not a Romulan, but no one knows what Romulans look like, do they? But still, look at my face.
Okay.
Look, you're being held by a human. It's fine.
What? He just appeared out of nowhere. I don't know. Well, can the Romulans phase in and out?
Do you want to save your ship? Then you and I have to work together.
Okay.
Your ship is still out there. Your ship is caught, and we are caught in a wormhole. We are caught in its gravitational pull.
A wormhole. Okay.
Does that sound anything like what you encountered?
No, I didn't see no wormhole. Yeah. And what do and Lieutenant?
I'm the captain of this ship.
He kind of still quite phased. Lieutenant Kearney, Armory Officer, Starship Atlantis, registry number 376255. The last thing I remember from the Atlantis, I was sent down to the planet and to investigate the Romulan debris. We were looking to we'd heard that some of their ships had cloaking devices. We didn't detect any on...
We recovered your logs. I'm sorry about your men.
Crane. Poor Crane. No.
Your messages warned us. Your messages warned us about the moss.
Okay.
It was very helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
Now,
My
please,
mind.
unless-
Out
Come
my
on.
head. The doctor holds him down and runs a tricord over his head. No, there appears to be some sort of psychotropic chemical that has infused with his neurochemistry. I'm going to need to run a thorough examination. If you have any officers who are available, I would very much request their help. Captain. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put this man in a coma.
Nothing here. Pat my pocket. Ensign Casey, please report to sickbay.
Yes, Captain. Oh, I will dash down the sick bay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you Casey. I want to see if this man can be talkative, and I'd like him to be able to give us answers about anything he's seen, especially before the ship went up, before he left the ship.
Of course, Captain. I'll get him as fit as I can.
Thank you, AMH.
I'm a doctor, not a psychologist.
If you're a Starfleet doctor, then you literally are a psychologist. Like
He's
that is
just
part of your
photons.
that is part of your training.
Give me a break.
His
I want him to say the
programming.
thing.
I know, but you've let yourself down. You've let all of us down.
Casey arrives. So Casey arrives. The human appears to have been sedated.
And what is the situation?
This man has some sort of psychotropic substances intermingled with his neurochemistry. I'm going to need you to find an effective treatment, and I'll hold him down if you then administer it. I'm not expecting. I would imagine some sort of hyperspray. Some sort of hyperspray will be able to deliver something that will break it up, but I need you to find it for me. I'm focused on keeping this man alive.
That's quite alright. It might be possibly something to do with the moss, maybe something airborne off the moss. I've got a sample. I'll run some tests.
Well, that would have been useful quite a while back. Thank you very much.
I'm getting to it now. Sorry.
Ensign, don't let the AMH badger you.
Okay.
It's very badgerable.
Okay, so I'm going to need a control or reason and medicine test. This would usually be difficulty 4. However, because you have a sample of the chemical compound involved, it's going to be difficulty 1.
Hey!
I'm going to choose reason and medicine.
Okay.
Those are 2 failures.
God damn it, Casey. Why
Damn
did
it,
you
Casey.
Okay.
What is when can you use focus again, sorry?
What focus does is if you get below your... What's it called?
Discipline.
Your discipline, you can get 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it... how bad are these failures?
An 18 and a 16, where I was looking at a 15.
Okay. Wow. Give me...
Yeah, I rolled like an 18 and a 16 on my command check, and I was like, I'm good at this, damn it!
To be fair, Casey's emergency medicine.
You can,
he's-
if you would like, add to the threat pool that I
Yeah.
may use
To
at a
get
later
to
time.
gain
Yeah.
an extra dice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes. 15.
Is that exactly on?
That is exactly on.
Okay, so
Excellent. You've added 2 threats to the pool.
let me set up that dice over there. Oh, hang on, no,
You don't need more
Don't
threats.
give
I'll use the red
numbers.
dice. That's threat,
No.
and that's the
Threatening dice.
momentum dice is the white one. The
Jesus.
you determine that the psychoactive substance is clinging on to certain neurotransmitters that you should be able to hyper-stimulate, especially the antibodies in that area, in order to fight off this. So, while the EMH holds the man down, you should be able to administer the hyperspray. He is going to give you an assist on this, and you're going to require insight and medicine to determine the correct dosage to apply.
Right, insight and medicine comes to 15. That's a 5 and an 11.
He does not. Oh no! Yeah, he manages to aid you, and you spray him in the side, and this person quickly, Kearney quickly goes from quite a frantic breathing to just calmly breathing in and out. Well, I wouldn't recommend waking up the patient just yet. Give him 10 minutes for his system to calm down, and then he should be able to answer you.
Okay.
We will fade to black, and I'm quickly going to go for a short break while I read... Thank you for that, Casey. While I quickly read forward in this adventure. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. I've read up on what we need to do, and the crewman, armory officer Kearney, slowly comes to. The EMH scanning their brain as they slowly open their eyes.
Hello?
Lieutenant?
Captain
Athan.
Captain Athan.
We picked up your distress call.
You'll forgive me, Captain. You say you're Starfleet, but this doesn't look like any...
I haven't said I'm Starfleet.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Sorry.
No, I'll rewind that. Forgive me, Captain.
I never said I was
I'm
Starfleet.
Starfleet.
I shouldn't interact too much with an alien vessel. You'll forgive me if I don't give you everything you need to know right now.
I understand that, and I'm quite happy for a similar amount of restraint on either part. However, my ship, and I believe your ship, the Atlantis, are both caught within the gravitational pull of this wormhole. This wormhole, the time dilation effects and consequences of the wormhole are expanding across this system.
Aye.
And so there will be consequences. It will no doubt destroy both of our ships and have untold impact.
Well, how about we take a shuttle over there and... I'm assuming you've tried to contact them via radio.
Yep, we have attempted transmissions. They have not been responding. I had considered a shuttle as a further step, assuming we can pilot it through those matters. I'm going to have to request, under certain circumstances, that you be transported under restrictions, possible blindfolding, again, for my people's secrets. I want both of our ships to get out of here.
I see. I understand first contact protocol. If that is your way, then I will respect it.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I'm going to let you have a few moments with the Doctor. Unless there's anything of enormous importance you can recall about your encounter with the Romulan ship, anything which could be to do with this wormhole.
Nothing.
And I'm going to consult... Sorry.
We fought with 2 Romulan warbirds for a short time. There's nothing about the fight that I considered out of the ordinary. And with respect, if I did, I'm not sure I should pass that information on at this time. But I can tell you, in this case, there was none.
I understand, and I'm not looking for secrets. I'm looking for both of our ships to get out of this.
I went down on a shuttle pod to investigate the wreckage.
I know.
And if you've read my logs, you know what happened.
I do. Thank you, Lieutenant. I'm going to consult with my staff, and then we'll see about visiting the Atlantis.
Forgive me. Who are your people? Looking at Casey, who appears human.
Multi-species ships.
I know that many appear similar to us. Are you human, or are you... Forgive me, I mean no offence. Casey.
Staring at Casey.
No. No.
Okay. The EMH is kind of raised eyebrow at you both as he continues to...
Well, a fan doesn't look human. I mean, she
No.
does.
No,
but
a fan doesn't look human.
But she's trail marked.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but Casey.
Casey
Casey
is
is human.
Casey's also not the best of liars.
No.
No.
Are you human?
No.
No.
I have no reason to lie. No. Why don't you do this?
Ensign Casey, I think that might be a check of some kind opposed against this person.
Sure. Fight me. What am I rolling?
Let's go with insight, and what do you think will make sense?
Command is probably the one that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Let's go with command.
To be honest.
It's the most
Command is
talky.
talking to people and convincing people and things like
Sure,
that.
insight.
Gotta
command.
get below 12. No.
No. Are you?
Sure.
Oh dear.
The Lieutenant Kearney looks at you, raises an eyebrow, and just kind of nods along.
Not everyone should do that. That's a cultural thing.
That's our thing.
Cultural appropriation.
Like the EMH can, because he's sassy as, but
As
like
far
this,
as Casey,
this random fucko doesn't get to. That's
like
my
Casey
thing.
thinks he's past this lie. So
Yeah.
I'm not a human.
He starts to
Ensign.
believe it.
Ensign with me.
He has a crisis.
Yes, Captain.
Leading him out. I'm putting my comm badge back on. I'm going to go, senior staff report to the conference room.
So,
Ensign, you're going to never play
Understood.
poker.
okay, next scene, we're in the conference room. Captain is sitting at the end of the long table. Everybody else is sitting around.
Anderson clearly wishes that she was back down in main engineering, and it's quite visible that she would rather be trying to fix her bloody ship.
Our
Right,
time's
now.
limited, so we're going to need to act quickly.
Oh,
However,
damn right.
thank you, Commander.
Apologies, Captain.
Lieutenant Kearney, the man you recovered from the planet, has been cured, so far as we can tell, of whatever is affecting him. He is now compos mentis and no longer raving about Romulans. He has reached a conclusion I did, which is if we cannot communicate with the Atlantis or use the transporters, then we may have to take a shuttle to them if we are to communicate with them. At this point, the Temporal Prime Directive comes into play. At present, I have just been vague. He has acted as if he wishes to to guard the secrets of the UES. I have acted as if we, similarly as an unnamed organisation, merely do not wish to show our trade secrets to some aliens. But this is only going to last so long.
Mm-hmm.
There are other matters in terms of maintaining the Temporal Prime Directive. My recollection is that the Atlantis, according to the history books, went missing after an investigation into what was it specifically? A long-range recon to discover Romulan outposts. It was investigating a Romulan minefield and went missing. So there is always the possibility that this ship is not supposed to return to its time.
Right. If it went missing and there's no reports of it coming back, no.
That doesn't necessarily make them expendable. That we already have the historical precedent of the USS Bozeman, for a temporally displaced ship into the present day.
Fucking nerds.
Sorry, what's a Starfleet?
Quick question. What's that?
But yes, I understand that sending them back is not the ideal option.
No.
But if we talk to them, maybe we can ferry them off the ship and destroy their ship. Is currently what I'm operating as. However, if we are not going to return them to their own time at this point, I think being open with them might actually have to be our best option.
I'd agree with that. If we're not sending them back, then there's only so long that we can keep up the deception, and it's just going to take up extra time and energy when we could be actually sorting out this problem. Concerns I have with shuttling them about. Casey, you said there was about 33 life forms or so that you read on there, something like that?
Approximately, yes.
That's a lot of people to try and ram into a shuttle.
It is.
Anderson, give me a daring engineering.
Daring engineering is my middle name.
Like, daring engineering is not quite my best set of stats, but it's not far off.
What are your focuses?
Power systems, warp engines, computers, tactical systems, astrophysics, and jury rigging.
Let's give you a focus in jury rigging.
Yes! Bodging the shuttles! Well, that's... Oh my god, that's 4 successes.
Do you want to use momentum for anything funky?
Make it 5.
You do have...
No, that would be...
You have 1.
I don't have any to spend. Or do I have 1 to spend?
You have 1 and 3 from this.
Oof.
So a total of 4.
No, I'm not going to spend anything just yet, and will instead spend it on the bodging rolls that are to come.
Yeah.
On sorting out the shuttle.
spend momentum to cram bodies into a confined space.
Why, we could fit another 3 in there.
Tie them by rope
Was that
to
supposed
the
to be a
end of the
Scots
show.
accent, Izzy?
Look, I can't do a Scottish accent. I'm very English. It was as good as Jimmy Doohan's. Get off my back.
No, Jimmy Doohan's was occasionally actually fucking accurate.
Look, all
Very,
right.
very occasionally.
Her accent was as good as him on a bad day.
In which case, I shall do my in-post. Well, I'm pretty certain we can get another 3 in there if we just try bally hard enough.
Chop chop.
That's much better.
Is that better? Is that less racist for you?
That is less racist. Thank you very much. But you've got. Let's see. You can put people on this bit. Here. Just shove them all in a Jeffrey's tube. That is not the information that I'm getting.
What about we make
here.
them tiny, like in that Deep Space Nine episode?
I
Make
haven't
it all
seen Deep Space Nine.
This seems legit. I think we should get on board with that at once. I think you've probably been sent bodging notes.
I am awaiting bodging notes.
Oh, Oz is leaning back and sipping.
And also
Yes.
the mic came live.
Bodging notes occurred.
Using our investigation abilities.
Here we go.
Nice work, Casey.
I mean, we could do something with their transporter. If we actually get on there, then connecting to another ship's transporter is doable. And the transporter will pick up the angular confinement beam. It's not brilliant because the tech is, well, theirs is 2 centuries old and battered to fuck.
Try and synchronize their transporter with our transporter.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here.
You reckon you can do it, Anderson?
I'm sure we'll be able to sort something out. Might even be able to transport there via doing this, but I think it's just going to be easier for us to lock onto them and transport them here rather than, it's less of a risk if we just connect up transporters and then beam them out.
The more I'm thinking this through, the more I think we may as well just come out into the open with it. Sending them back through time it could actually have untold impact upon the time stream, and it's not an option. So at this point, they are either dead or they're coming back into the 24th century with us.
I think they're coming back with us.
That is,
if at all possible, then.
That is the hope. In which case, despite all that, Exo, I know you have many reservations about the idea of the captain leading an away mission. However, I have studied early Federation history. I may be able to connect and relate to them possibly better than yourself, Exo.
Captain, it is unorthodox. However, if there is to be diplomacy had with these people, it should come from the captain. You are the only one who can make snap decisions regarding the Temporal Prime Directive.
Captain, on the back of the alien vessel that's in the center of the wormhole, the time dilation that's causing is only one way.
What do you mean?
The wormhole isn't sending anything back.
So they couldn't go back if they wanted to?
I'm afraid so.
Right.
That clears a lot of this up anyway, then.
That makes life easier. Right.
So I'm definitely going to need Anderson. We may need...
Actually, Oz, am I going to be better from what you said? Is it going to be easier to do this kind of thing from their ship, or...
You have the better transporter here.
Yeah.
All the bodging will probably be on their end. I mean, if you tried to connect from your ship here to beam you that way, the bodging would be this end, because you're trying to do the... you're trying to connect to their ship and do all that kind of thing. If you go there and sort that out from their end, then that's a whole... Like, basically, whichever end you beam to from.
Okay. In that case, botting on 2-century-old tech it is.
I'm going to need Anderson. Exo, I'd like you to remain on the Iskandar.
A sensible precaution, Captain.
I'm just wondering, Casey, if you're going to be any use of us over here, or frankly, if you're going to be more use at the sensors here.
That's entirely your prerogative, Captain.
I'm going to give you two stats. First of all, the average crew complement of the NX class is over 50, and the life signs detected were only 33. So they may be dead, wounded, or similar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm bringing some tactical and medic. But...
Okay.
Casey, you're with us. We don't know what we're going to find out there, and frankly, if there's anything unusual happening on board the Atlantis, we might need your expertise.
Aye, Captain.
All right, let's go blow Lieutenant Kearney's mind. In fact, meet me in the shuttle bay. I will meet you there.
Break the news to him gently.
I will... Well, there's not much time for gentleness right now. I'll meet you there with Lieutenant Kearney.
Okay, the next scene fades in as Lieutenant Kearney is just saying... The 24th century?
2378, to be precise.
Then... My wife.
I'm sorry. When this is over, you'll have the opportunity to check any historical records, look into that sort of thing. But there is no way back that we can see through the wormhole, and our history indicates that this was the Atlantis' last mission and did not return. But there's still your crew.
And you're heading over there now?
I think we need to speak with them. The only way I can currently see of doing anything here is to destroy one of these ships, and I don't want to take lives with it.
Then I suppose I'll go with you, Captain.
That would be appropriate and ideal. You believe Captain Suarez was alive and in charge last you saw her?
Yes, she was... There was no problem on the ship when I left. It just disappeared, I suppose.
Well, I'm hoping Captain Suarez will be more talkative, both with you and also with you coming over to help.
Of course.
I apologise for keeping matters close to my chest before now.
But you're not human, so how can you be in charge of this Earth vessel?
I'm going to point out, by the way, that Talandra is there.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
This is the USS Iskandar of the United Federation of Planets. Formed in 2360. So soon after the war, the consequences drove your cooperation with the Vulcans, the Talarites.
He looks at Talandra as he says, you say Vulcan. Okay.
Hundreds of worlds, dozens of species coming together within this quadrant and galaxy with the purpose of cooperation. Starfleet remains on a mission of exploration, diplomacy.
But I take it humans aren't just the ensigns.
There's still a ship called Enterprise. And her captain is human.
It's good to see some things never change.
Not that ship.
Well,
The capital of the Federation is in Paris.
of course it is.
Everyone here went to Starfleet Academy in San Francisco.
Well, I suppose... I hope it won't be too different. Do you know if there's still... On the corner of 3rd and Main, in San Francisco, is there still that pizza place? Franco's?
The one, well, yes, and now they'll do you any topping from any world, and sometimes they won't ask too many questions.
I just want the anchovies. I don't want any of that, any kind of weird space squid thing. As
I'm
long
sorry
as
to
I
say,
have that.
your weird Earth anchovies remain.
I'm not judging your whatever it is you eat. I think once I get back, once whatever it is that Starfleet determines they're going to do with me, I think that's the first thing I'm going to do.
It's a good goal. It's not so different. We follow in your footsteps, Lieutenant Kearney. And let's just see if we can return the favour for those who came before.
Okay. Lead the way, Captain.
Captain,
Commander.
should we lose contact with you when you transport to the Atlantis, what are your standing orders regarding the crew?
You give us as long as we can. Do not send anyone else over if we go dark. Make your best efforts to bring us back. And you know what you have to do, Commander. If it's us, if it's the Iskandar or the Atlantis, or this system, the Atlantis must be destroyed.
Of course, Captain.
I know you'd understand it, sir.
I believe you are well matched, Captain.
I'll see you in a few hours, XO.
I certainly hope so.
Hope. How optimistic of you. I'm leaving.
Okay, so you get in the shuttle. Who's piloting the shuttle? Okay, well, in that case, you decouple from the rest of the you decouple from the ship's umbilicals and you head out. I'm gonna want from you to traverse these gravitational eddies.
Is it going to be control com? Or is it going to be daring com? Those are the ones I'm thinking of, anyway.
And do we have momentum?
We do have momentum.
You'd have a shit ton of momentum. Yeah, sure. Let's go with daring and con to fly through these gravitational eddies, working out where they are as they come through. In fact, Casey, you can give assistance if you would like with reason and science to
Gladly.
warn of when these eddies come in.
Can I give assistance by command, which will be backseat driving? Left a bit.
I'm going to say,
Right.
based on that description, unfortunately not. You can give a moral boost if you'd like.
One success from support.
I think it's
Right.
fine. Anything
I'm
would be
trying to
weird
think,
from
do
command.
I want to spend momentum?
If you have
And I
any
think
command
I
talents,
do.
that might help.
No, only for if I've done good and other people have got to follow my lead, which needs me to have done it first.
Oh my god, have you got all of the lead from the front talents? And I've got all the just do it this way talents.
There's a natural 1 in this pile, and 1 other success. So that's
Okay, that's
3 for
good.
me,
So,
having spent 1 momentum.
okay, so how much momentum did you spend?
I spent 1 momentum,
Okay.
got a total of 3 successes from
Okay.
me, and then 1 from Casey.
Okay, so how this is going to happen is that you... we're going to go for a slightly abstract form of description here of what happens. In that you're heading out. Casey, you warn that an eddy's coming from the side and brace for it, but the ship buffets to the left.
Oh, that way, yeah.
And then to the right. And you manage to gain control over the ship as you fly forward towards the Atlantis. You find the umbilical on the bottom of the ship, and it doesn't have the same kind of attachment that you do. It's a very old ship.
Buggery.
It doesn't have a
problems,
shuttle
Commander?
bay.
Doesn't have a shuttle bay.
Docking port?
Oh no, sorry. It does have a shuttle bay, but to get in, you have to clonk onto a thing that usually comes out. So you're going to have to tell me what you'd like to do.
I think it is a bodging Did you say boarding action or bodging action?
I said boarding action.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
Let's see, does the shuttle bay look like it's something that they could open and then we could fly in, or do you have to clonk onto the thing and then get in?
It usually opens, an umbilical comes down and pulls you in. However, if you find a way to open that door without the umbilical coming down, you could probably just fly in. Although it'll be pretty tight in there.
That's fine. Are we close enough that we can get that comms are less distorted?
Let's say yes. However,
But if-
the systems that you're using, I mean, it's like Windows to Mac situation.
That's
Or
fine.
Windows, to something ridiculous and old.
Some stuff
Mac
might get
to
a bit
DOS.
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mac to DOS. Some stuff might get a bit lost in translation, but that's okay.
So I'm going to want an engineering reason. Unless you can think of a better.
Is the engineering reason just to make the comms work?
To get a communication between them to open the door.
Yep. Okay. Engineering reason. Do I want to spend more momentum? How much have we got left?
2.
2 at the minute. I'm going to save those, I think, for ship transporter wrangling. Oh.
Regret?
I'm just gonna hold these up to the camera
These-
as I rolled.
Son of a
Two
bitch!
20s.
We're dead.
Blow them up now, Tactical. Let's just cut our losses.
Are you able to use
No, it's
determination? Are you filled
No,
with
I think-
determination?
Let's see. We just was there? There's something for reroll.
So, Captain Talandra.
Remember us.
Easiest coup in history.
I already knew.
I know it's used momentum to spend one of my values here. Actually, my values are relevant here because it's one of them is if you see it, fix it. Doesn't matter how. Which sounds like it's relevant.
Sure. Yeah.
So yes, let's use determination here.
Okay.
Do I use it for a reroll?
You use it
And
for a
that's not-
whole reroll.
Whew.
Let's see, I'm choosing 13. Or I can just get 2 successes. What's the difficulty of the task?
The difficulty of the task would be 2, so you can.
It would be 2.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to take the 2 complications and go for take the perfect opportunity using the point of determination.
Okay.
She said words.
I did say words. Those were rules words. Said
Okay,
in
so-
an accent.
The ship above you, you can see the door start to open, and the umbilical comes out and clamps onto the ship. You didn't expect this to happen, and straight away you hear air rushing from your shuttle as something has pierced the top of your shuttle. You're pulled into the ship, and
That's
you
better be
hear
connecting.
you hear the doors closing underneath you.
Did you see that hull plating? They really don't make ships like this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No shields, Ensign.
Just
Polarize the
big
hull plating
whack
for
of-
defences. No shields.
Yes.
A hell of a
very,
lot of
very-
uranium.
Transporters were mostly for cargo at this point.
No, it's all very.
Well, they're about to be used for a bit more than just cargo.
Looking out the front of the ship, you see the ship's emergency lights, the NX class, the Atlantis' emergency lights flickering. You can hear hull creaking around you, and
Poor thing.
as you step out of the shuttle bay, one of the doors to the shuttle bay opens in the catwalk above you, and 2 people run out of it. One of them running to the other side of the catwalk, as you hear energy weapons fire. One of them gets shot to the. One of them gets hit to the ground, and 2 other people run out to grab the person and pull them back.
Where did the shot came from? Sorry.
The shot came from the open door, and then 2 people came out and grabbed the person who fell over and pulled them back through the door. As the person who's running slams at the other end of the catwalk, the door opens and someone steps out there, and a firefight starts happening between 2 ends of this catwalk, and that is where we're going to leave it this week.
Oh, I've made a huge mistake. Firefight! Get to kill some Romulans!
So, did everybody have fun?
Yeah,
Yes. Very much so.
that was
So-
cool.
We're going to go through everybody, and they can tell us what they enjoyed, what their character learned this week, and maybe what they think's happening, or just other comments about it. But what I'd like to do is start with Lieutenant Commander Talandra. Not Izzy. I would like Lieutenant Commander Talandra to do her best Exo's log supplemental, if possible.
Based on what? She hasn't even got back to the bridge yet.
As she goes.
Well, she can have got back to
This,
the fridge.
this
because-
hallway needs renovating.
I just mean the situation of everything that's happening. I just want to know the thoughts of Talandra right now.
Very well. First officer's log supplemental. Having engaged with the situation on the planet's surface near the burgeoning wormhole, the captain has seen fit to take a small party in a shuttle over to the starship Atlantis. Although this certainly skirts territory of an unorthodox relationship with the temporal directive, prime directive, I am certain that the captain will comport herself with the grace and dignity of her station. Regarding the figure's reaction to the moss that we took from the planet's surface, I certainly have my concerns that the captain may well face similar or worse upon the Atlantis. I can only hope that she has equipped herself well enough to react to the situation in hand.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. Is there anything that you just want to add?
The fact that I hate trying to be the we're all proper Star Trek nerds that sit there through episodes going, why did they do that? That doesn't make any sense. That was a stupid thing they did. So much so that my playing a hyperlogical character and being that kind of nerd means I go, you shouldn't send the captain and the first officer and the second officer on a dangerous away mission. That is stupid. But it means I'm like, I don't want to go on an away mission. So I'm sitting here going, I hope something fun happens on the ship. Like, I don't obviously hope something fun happens on the ship, because the ship should be very boring and maintain its orbit, and nothing. Talandra would like there to be nothing exciting happen, and she just stays and monitors, and after about an hour, the captain goes, I've run to Iskander, but we're coming back now. It's all cool. It's all fine. Everything's sorted. And
Lots to beam up.
They sent us a fruit basket, and they think that we're lovely, and they're going to sit very quietly on the journey back, and it's all great. But like, Izzy kind of wants like fucking Romulans to beam aboard and the ship to be taken hostage and gunfire down the corridor just because do the thing.
So what does it Izzy wants? Sorry, let me just.
I'm just saying, like
She wants to be super
Izzy wants
racist.
Romulans.
Look, I'm just saying I want an excuse for the Vulcan Romulan thing to happen. Stop trying to make it happen, Izzy.
Okay. What I really love, based on what you just said, is the way that you all react to things in a way that I wouldn't have expected. Because, yes, I expected you to think about towing the Atlantis, but as soon as you said, "Why don't we do it with 33 lives still aboard?" I went.
Just blow it up. Just screw the rest of the plot. Just blow it
Yeah,
up.
More important. The Iskander is more important.
This is why you can subtly go, your scans indicate that's a stupid idea.
That you've still got
Captain.
time.
Do you think that the sending you messages during the game worked to give you?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
And
That-
I
that
think,
definitely-
like, I know the worry was that there was a lot of information coming, but I think early in any Star Trek adventure, there's going to be a lot of
it's
information.
always very.
From this point on,
Scan
it's going to
this,
be
scan
reacting
that,
to
scan
things
the
on the
other thing.
fly, and
Sure.
we're not going to be going, tell me everything about the situation.
Plus,
And no one wants it to be Galaxy Quest. As
One of the things
Yes.
that I was worried about was when we were waiting for information to come, there'd be a lull in terms of people talking. But I think the more we get into these characters, the more we kind of bounce off each other. When this information is coming and when someone's waiting for information to be typed up, that's time we can roleplay.
Yeah.
So we can capitalize on that.
And also, I think we were in an unusually tense situation with the ship in the wormhole. So even if, under most situations where we're waiting for information, it won't be like, I can't do anything except worry.
Yeah.
So what about Captain Nadari Athan?
Captain Athan has learned that there is actually humans who like anchovies. What is wrong with them? No, she's learned that she's surprisingly willing to blow up the Atlantis to save her ship. It's not the step one, but it's on the priority list. mama bear instincts of the captain are kicking in. She's learning of how, in an unusually tense crisis for the Iskander, how much and how far she can rely upon her crew. Like Casey, he's very, very useful. And this isn't even much of a part, but he's also young, so don't let him get too strung out. And maybe worry about possibly keeping Anderson on a leash sometimes. And she's rediscovering it. Even in a crisis, there's a hint of that spirit of adventure kicking back in.
Oh, you're a Starfleet captain now. They've got their hooks in you.
No, I want a desk job.
What about Anderson?
Anderson is definitely saying that maybe not in this situation, maybe at some point in the future, there will come a point where she will be absolutely 100% willing to disobey the captain in order to put what she thinks is the best interests of the ship first.
Well, I'm getting my court-martialing papers out now.
Yep, get your court-martialing papers ready now, Exo, because there will come a point where I go, I'm sorry, Captain, you want me to do what? How about, no, full war engines reverse, we're getting the hell out of here, and we'll come back when it's less likely to blow this ship up.
It's okay. An interesting day.
What about Casey?
Casey has learned, don't let the hollow doctor boss you around. That has been very important.
By a hologram, Casey.
The captain told me that, and the captain was very wise to do so. He was a little shaken at the idea of how willing people seem to destroy those lives to save the ship, because we're Starfleet, and we don't do that, but there's still that kind of jadedness in him of, no, what the captain says goes. That if that's what needs to be done, that's what needs to be done. And it is having those massive rolling on effects to the star system, so that's the only logical recourse. And as human as he is, he will try and temper everything by logic.
Good boy.
He doesn't like going on missions without Talandra, because there needs to be that reason. He was super happy with Anderson's piloting, up until the point that we could almost not interface with the ship and nearly died out there. And then he was super unhappy with Anderson and everything Anderson said.
Twist it!
Twist in. And the captain is probably going to get a model ship of an old variety for her birthday, based on the comments from when we docked.
Talandra's going to organise a party. It's going to be lit.
It's
Talandra to all officers. There will be a surprise birthday gathering for the captain this Saturday at 1200 hours.
You said all officers.
0420.
I'm reliably informed by Ensign Casey that it will be lit AF. My the Starbase data drives do not inform me what AF stands for, but I'm reliably informed that it is a good thing.
And there will be suddenly lighting at the event.
It will indeed be lit.
I have checked with Lieutenant Commander Anderson and ensured that the lighting arrangements will be appropriate to all races in attendance.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody here, as well as everybody watching. We are actually quite a significant portion of the way through this adventure.
More roleplay then, I guess, to fill in the time.
Well, luckily, the first two acts, the first two acts are quite a bit shorter. But next week we will move on to what happens once we are aboard the Atlantis. But we've had a great time. I hope you have as well. We've been beautiful and you've been amazing. But with that, we are now going to roll out.